Hello there. So this is the mini version of posture and flexibility. And I also can call it Let's Heal with Posture and Flexibility by Marie. And I'm going to give you a shorter version of what the class that I usually teach, what we do in it, to see if it can at least assist you during these hard times that we're all going through. Because of the nature of the shorter version of the class, I decided to only use the foam roller so that most of us that have one can do it. But if you don't have a foam roller, it's okay for you not to have one and you can still use it at the comfort of your home. Just do make sure that you do have a mat if you're on a hard surface, or you can also do it in carpet. For about a year or so, we did the class without the foam roller itself. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and put the foam roller aside and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and switch my angles so that you have a better view every time. Okay, from here, I'm gonna go ahead and place my hands just below my navel and I'm going to close my eyes. I will put my feet shoulder width apart and I'm just going to relax and I will try to bring my heart rate as low as I can as I stand up. Now standing tall means I'm not pushing too much weight in the front of my feet nor my heels. I am not collapsing onto my arches and nor am I going out onto the outer band of my feet. My knees are soft, and for the knees to be soft, we want to make sure that we don't lose height on the hips. Once we lose height at the hips, we're doing a squat. So we want to make sure that we don't lock those knees and strain those joints, but rather allow for the movement, the kinetic chain to happen from the bottom to the top. Hands are below the belly button. My spine is long, my neck is tall. But my neck is tall not by bringing my chin up, but rather by tucking it down. And with the crown of the head, I'm reaching up towards the ceiling. Throughout the class, I do the best I can to inhale and exhale through the nose. And before we do anything else, I want to make sure that you feel a gentle press from your belly onto your hands. As you inhale, and as you exhale, everything just releases. And please understand that when you're doing this, for your benefit, you can go ahead and put some calming music, but be in a room where you're by yourself, no distractions, so that you can be with yourself and hopefully, without thinking, put everything aside, and it's just about you. I choose to have my eyes closed. As long as your feet are shoulder width apart, please do so as well. And relax your shoulders. From here, I practice what is called controlled pause. Controlled pause is when we actually exhale, and before we take the following inhale, we have a blank space where there's no inhale or exhale, but we're calm. We're not tense holding our breath. That provides for more oxygen and carbon dioxide to be released from your body. And it's going to make the following inhale more efficient. These can be done from anywhere from 5 seconds, maybe to 10, 15. For those athletes that have really strong lungs, they can probably last up to 40 seconds. From here, I take a deep inhale all the way up and I reach over my head, interlock those fingers and extend the best that you can towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're gonna bend from the waist towards your left. Now it's from the waist, which means my weight is distributed equally between my hips. And I am reaching up and out with my right arm over my right ear. And I can feel a deep stretch from my right shoulder to my right hip. Reach the best that you can. Take a deep inhale all the way up, and when you reach so high, your heels want to come off the floor. You will not let them, you press them down. As you exhale, you bend towards the right from the waist only. Once again, left arm over the left ear. I can feel the right side of my spine compress as my left side is elongated. And I reach the best that I can. Up and out. Take a deep inhale all the way up and reach so high. I can feel every part of me awaken. You breathe. And as you exhale, those arms come out. shoulder height, palms facing up, reaching away from your trunk the best you can. Try not to shrug, and once again without locking at the knees. We breathe. Without allowing my spine, my hips or my chest going forward, I'm going to reach back with my thumbs. When I do so, as long as my chest is not going forward, nor are my hips, I'm going to feel a really good stretch in the top front part of my arms, bicep area. I continue to reach away from my trunk. Little by little, gravity wants to take over, so I can feel my arms coming down, but I will not let them. My mind is so much stronger. So I'm going to bring my arms slightly higher, just maybe an inch or so, and further out. I remind you to please try to inhale and exhale through the nose. And to not lock your knees. If you can do this with eyes closed, great. And if you can't, that's okay. You just try your best. I promise you, nobody's watching. Very slowly, I'm going to bring my arms down. And when I finish, I land with my hands in front of my thighs. As I'm standing tall, my shoulders are back. And all I'm doing is dropping my chin. When I drop my chin, you may or may not feel a stretch in your cervical spine. That's the back of your neck. I'm going to follow the path of my legs with my hands as I fold, but the first fold is going to be from the waist only. So it's a small range of motion, and it's just a drop. You may or may not feel a stretch in your lumbar spine, your lower back. Please keep your knees soft as you continue to follow the path of your legs, but with your hands, but we're folding from the hips. Now, our nervous system, to protect us, is going to push our hips back, and that's okay. Slowly, we're going to come down. If you're somebody who's done yoga a lot, maybe your hips are now used to it and they've learned how to go ahead and stay straight over your ears. Now, some of us may touch the floor, some of us may not, and it's okay. What is important is that you relax the shoulders. If you can, unlike me, make sure that the crown of your head is facing the floor. Breathe, and let's breathe through the nose every time, and you're going to feel the back little by little opening up, breathing and saying thank you to you for adding fluidity. Slowly, I'm going to push my hips just enough so that they're over my heels. And I'm going to relax. I will grab a hold of the opposite elbows. Gravity pulls me further down. And I'm going to rotate my elbows in such a way that the right elbow faces the right leg, left elbow faces forward or as forward as it can. Slowly I switch so my left elbow faces my left leg, right elbow faces forward or as forward as it can. And if you feel any cramping, just go ahead and don't go as far. I come back to the center. I breathe. I let everything go. And just with that movement, we should all feel a difference and we should all be a tiny bit lower than when we started. Keeping my knees soft and once again following the path of our legs, I'm going to unfold first by unfolding from the hips. You're going to feel the back of your thighs and those are your hamstrings stabilizing you. Slowly, I unfold from my waist, followed by my shoulders. And when I finish, my hands are to my sides. Now, depending on who you are, you may need a second or so that you can grab your bearings. Some of us that have vertigo, low blood pressure maybe, like I do. I breathe, and I stand tall. Once again, if you can keep your eyes closed, great. If you need to keep them open, that's okay too. My left hand, the wrist is extended, the palm is facing the floor. My right hand is behind my back, reaching for my left hip. I have a gentle press on my right shoulder. And as I exhale, I press down. And I drop my ear to the right shoulder. Now when I drop my ear, I try not to lean, nor do I want to shrug. I continue to press down on that left palm and I drop my chin facing the left foot. Continue to press down as you bring your chin facing forward, right ear to right shoulder. And let's tilt the chin slightly higher, just enough to feel it further up on the neck and maybe behind my ear. And let's close our bite. Bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth, and with every exhale through the nose, we feel it more. I let that go. I bring my head back up to center, and I switch. My right palm is facing the floor this time. My wrist is extended. Left hand is behind my back, reaching for my right hip. Gentle press on my left shoulder. As I exhale, I press down on my right palm. I drop my left ear to the left shoulder. I remind you to please try not to sway side to side or forward and back. My knees are still soft. I continue to press down on my right hand as I drop my chin facing the right foot. Continue to press down as the chin faces forward. Left ear to the left shoulder. And let's tilt the chin slightly higher. Close your bite. Bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And with every exhale through the nose, we feel it more. I let that go. Bring myself back up to center. I roll my shoulders back. I get some water and we get ready for angels, okay? If you have a foam roller, go ahead and place align it lengthwise with your mat or with your area if you have a carpet. If you don't have a foam roller, you can do everything we're doing without the foam as well, okay? So from here, one of the biggest questions is how to get on the foam safely. Make sure that you bring your hips at the very end of the foam. Every time that you sit on the foam, please make sure that your heels are directly under your knees, okay? Maybe they can be further forward, but please do not bring them further in. We don't need to have the hyperflexion at the knees. Slowly, I'm gonna bring myself down, and when I bring myself down, I make sure, for safety, that when I touch the corner of the head, I feel foam below me. That's a big deal. That's the most important part. We don't want any part of your head to be hanging off the foam. And if you have any vertigo issues or any issues with your cervical spine, to please make sure you place a folded towel under your head, not the neck, to elevate your head and make your neck neutral. From here, my hands are going to be by my hips with my palms facing up. And I breathe. Let everything go and feel your belly rising with every inhale. And feel like you're releasing all of the negativity as you exhale and let everything go. Slowly, I start a full snow angel, taking my time. Please make sure that you're aware as we're doing snow angels that we don't want to force things to happen. We allow things to happen with movement. And maybe you're not able to touch the floor because of your limitations, your medical history on your shoulders, and that's okay. But what's important is that when you reach your hands shoulder height, that you straighten your arms the best you can away from your trunk. And you continue to reach, even if your hands are not touching the floor, that's okay. You do try to continue to reach all the way back. I have a gentle press on my lower back to emphasize on the stretch. And I am thumb to thumb with my palms facing up and I reach. As I exhale, I turn the hands facing each other. They press against each other and they reach further back. I turn my hands facing up. Very slowly, I come back. And when I come back, I bring my elbows shoulder height, but I bend my elbows at 90 degrees. If you need to pick your eye and you need to take a little peek and look at me to see what I'm doing, please do so by turning your head rather than lifting your head so you don't get a drop in blood pressure. Now, there's a really good chance that not all of us, but 9 out of 10 of us are not going to be touching the floor at this point. There's a few of us that will. But just try to relax. And don't look, just go by your feel. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Again, nobody's watching, right? And we breathe. And I can feel my chest, and I can feel the tightness from all the stress opening up. Breathing. And as I stay here, I'm going to go ahead and slide my arms down and up. Maybe 2 to 3 inches, just enough to feel it more. Down towards the waist, up towards the shoulder. And I hold it. I'm going to rock side to side. I breathe. I'm holding it in the center. From here, I extend my arms out to the side. And maybe in your case, you feel it more in the back by your shoulder blades, and that's okay. It's all about where you're feeling it, nobody else. And as you exhale, you turn the hands facing down. With your fingertips, you're going to reach away from your trunk. So let's straighten the arms, and let's reach away from our trunk. So we should feel this in our fingers, in our hands, in the forearms, all up our arms and chest. I relax that. I turn the hands facing up once again. Very slowly, I go into my last snow angel. I breathe. I remind you to please have a gentle press on your lower back. Straighten the elbows. If it's okay, if you don't touch the floor, don't focus on that. Focus on having the arms as straight as you can for you. And if your arm can't go, just respect that. Allow things to happen with movement. Do not force things to happen. I'm going to slowly start to come down from that snow angel. I'm going to be aware of my shoulders. And as my hands start to reach shoulder height, I'm going to relax my elbows, let them bend. You're going to feel it more in your chest shoulder area. Relax your back. Let it arch if it wants to. Now this happens also when you're on the floor. You will still get a good benefit when doing it on the floor with no foam roller. And I'm going to stop where I feel the most comfortable at. That's your happy place. That's your happy spot. Maybe you can fall asleep at that spot. Let's breathe. Let's breathe and try not to think. Whatever's out the door, it's going to be out the door when you open the door again. I turn my hands facing down. You can either roll off the foam, you're only 6 inches away, or you can sit up on the foam. But if you're sitting up on the foam or on the floor, make sure that you do sit up with your back as straight as possible. Your hands over your knees, your eyes closed. We have 2 belly breaths, 2 belly and chest. Exhale longer than inhale, and in after the nose, please. Belly first, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Belly and then the chest, inhale. Exhale. One last one, inhale. exhale. I open my eyes. And I thank you for being here today. And I hope that you're doing great and that you're doing all the other workouts that the Polaris Club is offering you. Have a great day.